Reading our older IMDb reviews today associated with the Antonio Margheriti film from 1973, Seven Deaths in the Cat's Eyes. Firstly, from Unbroken Metal on the 8th of April 2002, an 8 out of 10 has all the ingredients of a horror movie but isn't one. La Morte has all the ingredients of a horror movie but isn't one. It tells the story of Coringa, Jane Birkin, who arrives at a castle to meet her relatives. Soon after, several people are murdered, and the only witness is a cat, who unfortunately cannot tell anything, but is mentioned in the movie title anyway. Tales about vampires are told, candles are flickering, Coringa has strange nightmares, while rats discover another corpse in the dark cellar. You get the picture, it's as gothic can be. Director Margheriti, Il Dio disse Kaino, and the cinematographer Carlini, Ercole alla conquista di Atlantide, Conqueror of Atlantis, lovely, shared the same stylistic obsession, it seems. The castle is full of scary details, and they put it to the best use. One direct quote from Once Upon a Time in the West, unexpectedly, with Hiram Keller and Jane Birkin replaying Henry Fonda and Claudia Cardinale. Try if you can discover it. This little-known movie was a pleasant surprise for me, as I have watched a couple of really bad movies from the same director, but good ones too. La Morte has atmosphere, tension, baroque visuals. It's got a lot more in common with Hammer Draculas than the usual 70s Italian slasher flicks. I have to make a correction. It's not 1965's Conqueror of Atlantis by Alfonso Brescia. It's actually Hercules and the Conquest of Atlantis, a different film, not directed by Alfonso Brescia, but by Vittorio Cottafavi. I have not seen that one, I believe. And we're going to read out now Humanoid of Flesh, who publishes on the 13th of December 2003. 8 out of 10, wonderful Italian giallo. 7 Deaths in the Cat's Eyes, a great giallo from the director of Schoolgirl Killer 1968, that's the miniskirt murders, and the Virgin of Nuremberg 1963, that's Horror Castle. Among others, a series of savage and gory killings take place in a Scottish castle, all watched with a lazy eye by a cat. A young schoolgirl, Coringa, Jane Birkin, tries to discover some of the castle's secrets. Antonio Margheriti adapted this gothic chiller from a novel by Peter Bryan. The film is very atmospheric, and there's enough suspense to make fans of Italian horror happy. There are some stylish cutthroat razor killings and plenty of gothic elements, everything from hidden doors leading to bat-infested, cobwebbed corridors to family curses. Check it out, highly recommended. And finally, I'll read out this review here from one... Have I ever lost it? No, I haven't. On the 23rd of January 2009, Witchfinder-General-666. 8 out of 10. 3 8 out of 10s. Wonderfully eerie gothic giallo by Antonio Margheriti. Nobody could possibly deny that the great late Antonio Margheriti was an absolute master of style and atmosphere. Margheriti's doubtlessly greatest masterpiece is Danza Macabre, aka Castle of Blood 1964. It is great. I don't know if it's my favourite. Of the ones we've discussed so far, and God Said to Cain is the one that I find most engaging. Like, the use of dark, like, nighttime photography there is superlative, I feel. A personal favourite which easily ranks among the most atmospheric horror films ever made. The man's repertoire includes quite a bunch of other great films, however. Actually, these two early 70s horror films, I might prefer Web of the Spider to Castle of Blood, just because I prefer colour photography, and the atmosphere I just think is more potent and less derives from older sources. It's almost like Visconti horror going on in Web of the Spider versus the derived from, James Whale and Murnau that we could describe Castle of Blood. In any case, let me continue reading this, however. Such as the wonderfully demented Gothic tale La Version de Nuremberga, the Virgin of Nuremberg 1963, or the dark spaghetti western Il Dio disse Kaino and God Said to Cain 1970, or this awesome film La Morte negli occhi del gatto, aka Seven Deaths in the Cat's Eye 1973, is a delightfully creepy giallo with an astonishing gothic atmosphere. The pairing of my two favourite horror subgenres, namely giallo and gothic tales, is always a delight. Margheriti made only two gialli, Nude si muore, aka Naked You Die 1968, the miniskirt murders, and this one, and it is obvious in both of them that the man is a brilliant creator of gothic atmosphere. Many of my fellow giallo fans seem to prefer Naked You Die, not least due to its role as an early specimen of the genre. It is quite early in 68, but I actually like Seven Deaths in the Cat's Eye better. Finer use of colour, better photography, I would suggest. The gothic elements are way stronger in this one, and I also found it to be creepier, more suspenseful, and less predictable than Naked You Die, which is nonetheless also a very good film. Quite good, I agree. Seven Deaths in a Cat's Eye is terrifically set in an eerie castle in the Scottish countryside. As usual in a giallo, bodies of people murdered by a mystery killer pile up in the area. The residents of the castle include the widowed Lady Macgriff, Francois Christophe, who owns the castle, her cynical son Lord James Macgriff, Hiram Keller, a beautiful and innocent niece Coringa, Jane Birkin, and her mother, a seductive French girl Doris Kuntzmann, a doctor, Anton Differing, two priests, and a bunch of servants. As usual for a good giallo, almost everybody is suspicious. Seven Deaths in a Cat's Eye is full of demented characters. The storyline may be a bit confused and not the most elaborate ever, but the mystery part is very good, the atmosphere is wonderfully creepy from the first minute, some of the killings are quite gruesome, and the score by Maestro Riz Ortolani is excellent and intensifies the suspense. The film includes little to no sleaze for a giallo, but Jane Birkin, who plays the innocent female lead, and Doris Kuntzmann, who plays the more seductive woman, are still both very nice to look at indeed. My fellow Italian horror fans will like to see regular supporting actor Luciano Pigozzi, Walter the caretaker from Werewolf in a Girl's Dormitory, of course, in the role of one of the servants. His final role, his most memorable role, might actually be, other than Walter the caretaker, is in Margheriti's Only Unnaturals from '69. Pigozzi was present in various genres throughout the years, and giallo and gothic tales are probably the two subgenres he appeared in most frequently. I could not praise Antonio Margheriti enough, I agree. Seven Deaths in a Cat's Eye is another great film from this fantastic director, a wonderful mixture of giallo and gothic tale, and a film that no Italian horror buff should miss, highly recommended. That's very true, so we'll close it here. Thanks again everyone, appreciate it very, very immensely.